everyone, and welcome back. We are back to playing around with ChatGPT. I will say I'm having lots of fun with it. Been learning to use it for a lot of different things, coming up with ideas for notes, things like that. It can help you, stir your imagination a little bit and come up with questions additional questions that you might not have thought of asking. But in this case, what I want to do is I want to bring up a subject. I've talked about it before, and it has to do with multiplication by zero. And there seems to be a lot of confusion over how it works, where a lot of people will say 0 times a number is 0, but a number times 0 is the number. And I know that most people are looking at that going, what are you talking about? But if you've seen a lot of the responses that I have online to math problems, this is a really common thing. It's a lot more common than even I thought. I was stunned at the number of adults who actually cannot properly multiply by zero. So I thought, you know what? Here's a problem that I see online a lot. It's this 50 plus 10 times 0 plus 7 plus 2. And believe it or not, most people that get this one wrong will give an answer of 9. But there's a lot of people that will say the answer is 69. Now, I kind of understand 9 because people are just blindly solving left to right. They forgot the order of operations, but at least they know enough to add, subtract. They know enough to add and multiply, and they realize, they're doing it incorrectly. They're adding 50 plus 10, they're multiplying by 0 and getting 0, then adding 7 and 2 and getting 9. I see how they're doing it. It's incorrect. But the people that get 69, they're adding 50 and 10, getting 60, and then they're multiplying 60 by 0, and their claim is, well, if I have 60 of anything and I multiply it by 0, I still have my 60 things. So I thought, you know what, let's go ask ChatGPT. I know what the answer is. I've covered this already, but let's go ask ChatGPT. And I said, in the arithmetic problem, 50 plus 10 times 0 plus 7 plus 2, I see many people give an answer of 69. Is that correct? Is 60 times 0 equal to 60? Let's hit enter. Love to see the answer. Let's go through the problem step by step to clarify the answer. The expression is 50 plus 10 times 0 plus 7 plus 2. According to the order of operations, multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. So we first do the multiplication. 10 times 0 equals 0. Now substitute that back. 50 plus 0 plus 7 plus 2. Next we do the additions from left to right. 50 plus 0 is 50, of course, 7, and then add 2, 59. So it's 59, not 69. To address your second question, 60 times 0 equals 60 is incorrect. The multiplication of any number by 0 is always 0. Therefore, 60 times 0 equals 0, not 60. So I'm going to ask the question because I'm going to pretend like I'm somebody who doesn't understand this, okay? So why is the multiplication of any number by 0 always, I think that's good enough. Is that a good question? Why is the multiplication of any number by 0 always 0? Let's find out. The multiplication of any number by 0 is always 0 because of the basic definition of multiplication in mathematics. Thank you. It goes back to basic definitions. All right. Here's an explanation. Multiplication can be thought of as repeated addition. For example, 3 times 4 means adding 3 4 times. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. 5 times 2 means adding 5 2 times. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So now if you multiply a number by 0, you're essentially adding that number 0 times. There's nothing to add, right? So the result is 0. You're saying take this number 60. Now, that's not really what we're going to be doing in the problem I just described. But if you take 60 and you add it 0 times, it's 0. 7 times 0 means adding 7 0 times. Since there are no additions, the result is 0. 25 times 0 means adding 25 0 times. Again, the result is 0. In mathematical terms, multiplication by 0 is defined this way to maintain consistency in arithmetic and algebra. If we didn't follow this rule, many properties of numbers, like the distributive property, would break down. For example, the distributive property states that A times the quantity B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. Pretty basic stuff. If we apply this with B equals 0 and C equals 0, you get A times 0 plus 0 equals A times 0 plus A times 0. And then, the rule, so this rule holds across all numbers and ensures consistency in mathematics. Right? Because A times 0 plus 0 is the same thing as A times 0, which is the same thing as A times 0 plus A times 0. 0 equals 0. So that's why that is. So I hope that makes sense. I mean, multiplication is about how many groups of something you have. I'll see this argument all the time where people will say, well, if I have 10 pencils and I multiply those 10 pencils by 0, I still have my 10 pencils. Yes, but do you have, how many groups do you have? If I say that I have, if I have, 5 pencils and 5 pencils in I have 2 different bags, right? And I put 5 pencils in each bag. How many pencils altogether do I have? I have 5 times. How many pencils in bags do I have? I have 10 pencils that are in bags. But if I have those 10 pencils and I group them in 0 bags, how many pencils do I have in bags? I have 0 pencils in bags. I have my 10 pencils, but I have them grouped in 0 bags. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how many groups of something you have. It's the same kind of thing that if you're paying little Bobby to cut your grass for $10 an hour, you're going to pay him an hourly rate, and little Bobby works 0 hours to cut your grass. Are you going to pay him $10? 10 times 0 is not 10. I'm sure he would love to get $10 for not coming over and cutting your grass, but it doesn't work that way. So I hope that's been helpful in explaining that little part of it. At least it shows you how to go into ChatGPT and use this to help. So, that one went a little bit long, but I appreciate everybody watching, and please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, leave some comments, let me know what you guys want to see, and I will chat with you all later. Take care.